Bata Manga.
My name is Taneo Tanaka. This is a story that happened before I married my wife, Nanako. I had a crush on Nanako at the time, and I used to go to the diner where she worked. At the time, Nanako's family owned the diner, and there were many regular customers who came to see Nanako, who laughed a lot and was very good-natured. A new male customer, Takashi, started frequenting the diner. Takashi's parents farmed in a place a bit far away, and he was originally in Tokyo, but it seemed like he had come back. I saw him and Nanako talking a lot, and before I knew it, they were dating. He asked her out while I took my time and hesitated. Then one day, Takashi went to Nanako's parents to propose and greet them, saying that he wants to marry their daughter. Nanako actually has a disability, albeit a mild one, and she thought she would never be able to get married. Nanako's disorder is ADHD, by the way. The word disorder may sound somewhat heavy, but to the casual observer, there is no indication that there is a disorder at all. Nevertheless, she explained to Takashi that she had a disability, and asked him to decide on the marriage after considering that. As a result, Takashi's decision did not change, and the marriage went smoothly from there. Nanako married Takashi from working at the diners. And soon after the marriage, Takashi decided to move in with his mother. Nanako didn't say anything about it. But this is where it all went to hell. Takashi's mother after Nanako moved in.
Hey, cripple! Hurry up and mow the grass! You have a disability, but it's thanks to my son that you got married, so work like you're going to die.
She started to bully and yell at her every day. She made Nanako work day and night as if she were a slave, even though she knew nothing about agriculture. After about a year of such hellish days, Nanako found out she was pregnant. But by that time, she was yelled at every day. And Takashi, who thought he could treat Nanako any way he wanted to, started treating her like a slave. He made her work hard all day long on the farm, even though her belly was getting bigger. Even in the blazing heat in the middle of summer, it didn't change. They wouldn't let her drink water, and when she collapsed from a heat stroke...
You're useless. You can't even work properly.
All you're good for is working, so get up and get moving. And days went by as the mother and son continually abused her. They didn't nurse her despite feeling nauseous from heat stroke and high fever, and instead the words that came out of his mouth were,
"Work, you slow wretch! It's beneath me to take a day off."
They would only shout abusive remarks. But the idiot mother and son thought she was strange for not running away after being treated like this, and that she deserved to be treated accordingly, and they escalated even more. Then one day, Nanako's belly was in great pain because of all the reckless things she was forced to do. She was 2 months away from giving birth. The two idiots couldn't imagine that Nanako, who had never run away no matter what they did, would ever run away. Nanako escaped while the two of them were out in high spirits. Someone who knew her happened to pass by her on the street, and when she saw Nanako, he thought she was someone else because of her sudden change in appearance. That's how malnourished and scrawny Nanako was, I was told. Nanako was taken to the hospital immediately, but it was already too late. The child could not come out of her belly alive. Of course, this story spread quickly, and it caused a big stir. Nanako's parents met Takashi's mother several times.
How was my daughter doing?
They asked her how their daughter was doing. Takashi's mother
They're getting along fine.
lied to them. So it was a shock to Nanako, but they were shocked not knowing she had a child in her belly. Nanako burst into tears and told them about the treatment she had received, not even knowing if that was a bad thing. The parents and regulars at the restaurant, "It's a devil's act," they all said. It was quick from there. To Takashi and his mother's actions, everyone, "This is not human behavior. Get a divorce, you jerk," and forcefully preceded the divorce while protecting Nanako. Because they're not in the city, they don't know much about the law and the penalties, but they succeeded in separating and divorcing the two of them. After a while, Nanako felt better and went back out to the store. But the grief of losing a child cannot be so easily wiped away. She was not smiling as much as she used to. After all they've done, Takashi and his mother, "I didn't want a disabled wife from the beginning,"
The children you would have had would have been handicapped too.
was the result. Everyone around was obviously upset. Takashi's family had no ties to anyone in town, so it didn't hurt to get ignored from them completely. For some years, they worked her like a slave and only helped them make a profit. It felt like it was running victory, which was not right. All while that was happening, Takashi's mother was killed in an accident. Takashi was working Nanako hard, but he didn't have the skill. After what happened to Nanako, the people who were there originally quit one by one. Soon after, Takashi looked for someone with farming skill. What he did to Nanako spread. "Who would work for you? You devil!" And no one was willing to help. Although he tried to recruit part-time and other employees, this was also impossible. He had no choice but to do it himself. But he couldn't manage it since he was clueless. Because it's not something that's going to have immediate results. He saw it crumble as time went on. And in no time at all, Takashi was in huge debt according to the people in the town hall. They say, karma pays off. And that's exactly what happened. Nanako was certainly a beloved presence in the town. Apparently, her parents were not the only one who wondered if she would be okay and happy when she got married. Since he put her through hell, no one gave him a helping hand. He has no immediate family either. No matter how much Takashi asked for help, people passed by unaided, and then the debt swelled. One of the regulars was talking about how he lost his farmland and even his house. And that's when people stopped talking about Takashi. Then there was talk that he might have committed suicide somewhere. Someone said that they saw Takashi in a shabby park where no one else would go. Takashi had become homeless, and the regulars were satisfied. After that, when Takashi wasn't even mentioned, I confessed my feelings to Nanako. Nanako's parents explained to me what happened, about the miscarriage and that Nanako was disabled. But I already heard about all of that from the people around me, and the fact is, I have a slight hearing impairment. I then told Nanako's parents about myself. I told them I know how hard it is to be disabled, and that I want to go out with Nanako even with all of those things considered. I know Nanako's been through some trauma. I told her that I thought it would be good for us to take a long time and slowly get to know each other. For a while, I just talked to Nanako at the store, and gradually we started going out together, and we ended up dating. When I proposed to Nanako, I asked her to move in with me so that her parents would feel a little safer. It would be normal for them not to want her to live with someone, but Nanako's parents seemed surprised that I told them myself. I also suggested that Nanako's mother would have an easier time later on if we made the house a two-family house with a store on the first floor. I had lived in the city for a long time, but I had saved enough money when I was single, so financially I had no problem at all. In fact, I felt like I had saved up for this moment. When Nanako's mother heard my proposal, she cried and asked me to take care of her. It's been many years since then, but the rather small diner has been renovated and is filled with regular customers every day. Nanako, who works with me at the diner, is happily caressing her growing belly. The regulars come to support us up to today.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. What did you think of today's episode? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on today's story. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe!